So I want to make these desserts that, like a slice of like a cake, for example. So then I have this piece of clay. It's a little difficult to manipulate. So I'm gonna add a little water to soften it. And it's gonna take a minute for me to like mix it up a little bit so that the water is spread throughout the clay. Excellent. And now I'm going to form this cake into I'm going to form this clay into a slice. So I always like to start with a circle. I know that we're gonna make kind of a triangular solid here, but I like to just make sure that there are no air pockets in the clay, and doing this helps to get rid of that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my hands like a wedge to kind of start forming it into a triangular solid. See, I'm pinching the parts and then I'm putting some pressure so that it ends up looking like a slice that I cut away from a cake. Use your fingers to move chunks of clay from one place to another. And also use the surface of the table to help you. There. I'm gonna push down. There. You see, if you use the surface of the table, it really helps to make it smooth. I'm getting to a slice. Whenever it's too bumpy, you just use the surface of the table and push against it. And look, it makes it back to a nice, even surface. All right, so the most important thing is to have a perfect triangular solid before you add details. So, go. There we go. And once you get the form where you want it, you want to smooth out the surface so that you can add details to a nice clean surface. This still bothers me a little bit, so I'm gonna fix it. There. It's just moving clay around. Excellent. Okay, there is your slice of cake ready to be decorated. I'm still a little unhappy with this part. We're gonna need to move some clay over and make sure it's even. Yeah, use the surface of the table to flatten any area you need to be flattening. Excellent. Okay, I think we're ready. Now, this could be any flavor you want. I am going to put some slicing on the side to make it look like it's several layers. And I'm gonna put some different decorations on each layer to make it look like there's different flavors going on in there. And of course, you can cut away into the slice because obviously this is a slice. It has flavors are the same throughout that whole layer. There. And let's pretend this one is the strawberry layer maybe. I'm gonna turn it around. Excellent. And then we can even add other marks, like I love this pencil mark like this. There are no wrong answers. You're just using the tools you have, any tools you have, to add decorations to each layer to make it look like a layered cake. I forgot to add that line, so there. All right, notice it's starting to look very cake-like. Let me see what other tools I have here. Ooh, maybe Oh, that looks great. I love this. The fork texture. I'm holding the cake really gently. And notice you can use a tool different ways. So this one I can push down and make this type of mark with the handle of the fork. And I'm trying my hardest to handle the cake nice and gentle so that I don't squish it from the other side. All right. Just need one more. I think I'm just gonna do dots for the last layer before I show it to you. And of course, there's also the surface. You can also decorate the surface. I'm just using a crisscross pattern. That looks super fun. Okay, now, this is ready to be dried out unless you're gonna stick it in the kiln. If it's gonna go in the kiln, which is the ceramics version of an oven, you're gonna have to hollow it out. And hollow just means that the inside needs to not have any clay. So as carefully as possible, I'm gonna show you how to hollow it. You're just gonna cut away and scoop out the insides without flattening. You can also do the scooping out before decorating. That might actually be another strategy not to ruin your cake. And you don't have to scoop out a lot. You just scoop out enough so that there isn't such a giant inside core. There we go. This will be a lot easier too if you have soft clay. My clay is getting a little hard. Okay, so I scooped it out. And that way, the ceramic sculpture will not explode when it goes in the sink, in the kiln. Normally they explode because the inside takes a lot longer to dry, and under the tremendous heat of the kiln, the water that's inside needs to come out somehow, and it explodes the sculpture. If you want, you can go ahead and put a layer to cover up the hollowness. That would be a choice. You could do that. It's not going to hurt your sculpture to put on a cap layer at the bottom to hide the hollowness. And if you are in a classroom, very important is to put your initials on the bottom of your sculpture. So my name is Miriam Catellis, so my initials are MC. Always put your initials on your artwork or your name. So there is my cake. I might want to refresh some of the details before putting it in the window to dry. And this will take maybe a week and a half to completely dry to a rock. And when it's completely dry, you can stick it in the kiln and bake it for anywhere between 4.5 to 6 hours. And then it's ready to be glazed with beautiful clay paints or clay colors, okay? Just keep adding details here. Whatever condition you leave it at today to dry, that is exactly what it's gonna look like when you bake it. So make sure that wherever you leave it, no one can touch it, and that it has a chance to dry completely before you bake it. Thank you so much. I hope you make a beautiful dessert just like this one.